Welcome back everyone to JFace Games. Today we are doing another working video, and the class I'm working on today is the Rogue, and I'm working on the Breeze, which is a subclass. So the Rogue, if we come in here and look, cunning, precision, stealth are your specialties, understanding human nature, and the comforts and fears people have is one of your weapons. You don't want to be in combat, but when you are, you will strike deadly in the deadliest of areas. Okay. So we already know that you have stealth proficiency and that you have understanding motivations for people. That's sort of like two skills that you're going to gain. You also are going to generate teamwork when you move zones, and you have this exploiting attack. So when someone is weakened or vulnerable, you're going to be able to do an extra d6, which is cool. Makes sense. It's kind of like my version of backstabbing. And then we have the Breeze. So the true nature, you are the true expert in getting in and out of situations, social and combative. Doors, windows, walls are not barriers to you. Pockets, bags, jewelry can't elude you. You are the classic thief who can find traps and move quickly in the shadows. So I guess the only main difference between a thief and the Breeze is also sort of socially able to move as well, to get in and out of situations. So it's not just physical situations, it's all situations in essence. You kind of breeze through life. So I had some ideas. One idea was that I thought that I could sort of in the vein of I am Groot, you could have all the powers be some variation of no, where it's like nope, and then you could have like yeah, nah, and you can have not gonna happen, those kind of things. I thought about that, but I'm probably not gonna do that. I think it's funny, but it doesn't do what I hope it does, which is you read the feature and you go, oh yeah, I get the idea behind this. And then I put down two just kind of breezy-esque sort of abilities. And I'm definitely going to use these as to figure out how I want to put them in. But you have switch adjacent zones with someone. I thought mechanically that's cool. I have a bad guy's attack hit someone else in your zone. That's also cool. And then something about the Breeze entering a zone first. The next player gets a benefit. So something about like that scouting ahead. To invoke that sort of like you're a scout feel, where it's like if you get somewhere first and then someone else comes into the zone after you, it's like they get a temporary boost. Like I think those are cool thematically with the class. So let's go ahead and write the word features, because that's what we're doing here. And let's think of some stuff. I also have some things over here from Cypher System, Quest, Dungeon, World, different games. To kind of get an idea of what do we need. So it would be beneficial if they have some way. So let's put some notes here. They're going to need to be able to put vulnerable or weakened on someone. Why? Because that's what their backstab is good for. So if they can't put at least one of those conditions on, you've got a problem with the build, right? You have quick hides, right? Some sort of, whoops, let's just do it like this. Let's do like that and make this big. Quick hide. Fast talk. Or smooth talking. You've got I put unbelievable stunt, meaning you're able to do something just remarkable. You've got, what else? We have awareness type stuff, right? Because you're very aware of what's happening around you. Evasion is a classic sort of one. You have underworld contacts. Yeah, I don't know if that's necessary. You don't need underworld contacts. So we're not that kind of thief. Let's see, what else? Dirty fighting? Does this guy dirty fight? Does the Breeze dirty fight? I don't think so. I think that's more the Stalker or the Muse. I think this one, it's not that you necessarily, or that might be a dirty fighter, might be a personal flavor. I think that for the most part, you're more of a be quick about things, and you don't want to ever be, and my dog's barking, you don't ever want to be pinned down So you're very mobile. But how does that differ from, say, the Seeker, who's pretty mobile? Well, we'll figure it out. So what are some things this person's going to do? Well, let's go ahead and let's also put this up here, because I like to have all of the, doesn't have to have all of these, but I like to try and fit in at least 1 or 2 of these, or no, I'm sorry, at least 3 to 4 of these into every build, right? So there, now we have our list of like things to think about, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and do this one first because I already just like this ability. So I think like, just like Olay, right? Which is the idea that you move into an adjacent zone and can move an enemy or friend into the previous zone, right? So now it's nice. It's got some utility to it. It's not just a bad guy thing, right? So technically, this is kind of controller or leader, right? So it's kind of a bit of both. I don't know if I like Olay because technically the rogue might, or a breeze might not say Olay, but gets the gist. We'll get rid of this because we're not going to do that. Have a bad guy's attack hit someone else in the zone. Here, you take it. That's kind of a rogue thing to say. It's kind of a breeze thing to say. Here, you take it. Because you know, it's like in a movie they would, you know, throw something. You know, you throw the grenade at the guy and he immediately throws it to the next person in line. Here, you take it. So to me, that's a controller ability. Well, it could be a striker ability, but I think it's, no, we're going to call it striker because you're doing damage. Striker ability. And so when you about to be hit, you can apply the stress to another close enemy. We could, or ally, because there are times where maybe you want to put the stress on someone else. It's a discussion, but so I think this gets rid of evasion, because to me that's kind of an evasive maneuver, right? So I like that. What else do we got? So we have this Olay, which is kind of like a controller ability. We have Striker. Do we need more controllers? Yes, because we need to have something where we can put a condition on someone. So we need to make someone vulnerable or weak. What would a breeze do? He'd probably like spin your top, right? So it's probably confusion. Oh, no, it's confusion. So he's not going to confuse someone. He's going to weaken someone. So maybe that's the case. Maybe you have, if that's the case, then we can do something like this. We can do what's the ability called? It's called exploiting attack. Opportunistic exploit. The breeze is allowed to use exploiting attack on confused enemies. So unlike the other classes, the breeze is able to take advantage of the fact that if someone's confused. Now, that means that the breeze has the opportunity to do multiple attackers or multiple conditions they can do damage. I'm okay with that because technically the Stalker's probably going to have massive damage output, right? So this person's able to do their exploiting attack on more targets, right? So I like that. And then what you do is you have, so this is a Stalker ability. a stalker, a striker ability. And then you have something about confusion, right? Where it's like, which way am I going? Right? Which is like, you're spinning around them, running around. And so we'll say that this is, you can apply the fusion condition to a close enemy, right? Perfect. Okay, and this would be a controller ability. All right, so there we go. So now we have, this is clean. Nothing crazy or outlandish so far, but this is clean, right? So now we have increased damage output potentially. We have some cool dodging, evasion type stuff. This might actually, you know what? This is the defender ability. You are defending yourself. That's a defender ability. So you have a way to not take damage. You have a way to manipulate the battlefield in some way. I like where it's going so far. So far, so good. Now, let's do this spotter ability. Let's figure this out. Like, how about like you go that way, right? Where it's like, maybe it's I got this, you go that way. These are all sort of like frenetic. Like I like the idea that these are frenetic, like there's a lot going on, right? So this is a leadership ability, our leader ability. And the idea here is that you, if the breeze, right, you enter, let's just keep it that way. You enter a zone prior to an ally on the same turn. They are empowered until the end of their turn, right? Okay, so that's cool. I think that's neat. And that's a leader ability. So let's go ahead and we'll knock this off. Boop, boop. We have a defender ability. Boop, boop. We have controller ability. And we have a striker ability. So we've got all the things we need, I think. And we didn't have to use this because we came up with another way to get around it, right? What else do we need? We need, and so that gets rid of spotter. We got rid of this one. Oh, cool. So now we're in uncharted territory. Now we can do whatever the heck we want to do. So what do we want to do? We also have trap sense. That's probably a skill. You know, being able to detect a trap is a skill. Being able to maybe fast talk, smooth talk someone, this is a skill. So we say skill. Trap sense skill. What else do we have? Let's see. We have Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. Look at marksman thing. I'll tell you what, we're gonna take I think I want to take a break on this for a minute. I have some other ideas, but unfortunately I have to go. So I'll have to conclude this at another time. But I like where this is going so far. So let's take a pause on this for now, and we'll come back and finish off these other abilities. And I'll see you next time.